Okay, good afternoon. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Cora.
And this is episode 2 of The Cat's Pajamas, our Garfield animation retrospective. Today we're going to talk about the second Emmy Award-winning Garfield special, Garfield on the Town, from 1983. Directed by Phil Roman and written by Jim Davis and Lorenzo Music, the voice of Garfield. And I'm just going to read some stuff from Wikipedia, which that was weird. It looked like Matt Groening came up when I hit one of these things.
I think that all older white guys look similar.
Yeah, that is actually Matt Groening. Is.
Yeah. Okay, but it's just because it shows all the Emmy Award winners for Outstanding Animated Program.
Yeah, okay. I was like,
he also looks like 3 other people, so I could not tell who that was.
But also Phil Roman, Film Roman, his animation studio, did the first few seasons of The Simpsons. Oh, Klasky Zupo did, and then it switched to Film Roman. That's right. Klasky Zupo, the guys who did Rugrats and stuff, yeah. And like Wild Thornberries. And
after.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Garfield on the Town. From Wikipedia, our news source, is a 1983 animated television special directed by Phil Roman, based on Garfield comic strip, as everyone should know, by Jim Davis. It once again starred Lorenzo Music as the voice of Garfield, who also co-wrote the special with Davis, and features the voices of the first time Tom Huge. Now, I assume it's Huge because that's how it's spelled, unless it's Hoogie. I don't know.
It's spelled like Huge. And it's also Tom, Thom.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's like...
But either
pronounced differently, like it's French or something.
Either way, it's the first time we get our classic John voice that we know from every other animated Garfield thing. Even the Garfield show, like the second one, I believe he is still John's voice, and Krusty,
obviously,
and Roy the Rooster. And
it's so
a few other.
He barely changes his voice, and I didn't even know it was the same person until I was like 13.
Yeah. Until you hear John get upset, that's the only time you can really tell.
Okay, that makes sense. You jumped on his face, you ruined his painting. Got it.
Because it was weird to hear, like in the last one in Garfield, or Here Comes Garfield, hearing like someone else do John's voice after so many decades of hearing Tom do the voice, because he is John. In my mind,
it's like animated Batmans. There's only one person who can do the voice.
Kevin Conroy.
Hearing anyone else do it feels wrong.
And it's almost like if you hear someone do it now, they're almost aping Kevin Conroy's version of Batman.
It's also like Mark Hamill and
the Joker.
Yes. Because like I hear his voice, I'm like, which Batman superhero villain are you today?
Yes. Yeah, because Mark Hamill, other than being Luke Skywalker.
No, it's a trickster, right?
The trickster from The Flash, And I think that's what got him the role of the Joker. After they were like, Tim Curry, you're a little too creepy. Even though it is the Joker.
He's actually so creepy, though.
But he would have been a great live-action Joker.
Yeah, but wasn't that right after It?
Yeah, it would have been right after It.
Yeah, so they're like, ooh, you scared too many children.
Yeah.
We can't have you be the Joker.
Yeah, you've already been a scary clown. Apparently, there is somewhere like... I guess recording, because he was cast as the Joker, I believe, first. And then they got Mark Hamill, and like, the rest is history.
Fuck you, you're fine.
Yeah. Although, in the first Batman Ninja...
The one I didn't watch.
Yeah, the one you didn't watch, Buster from Arrested Development.
Okay.
He's the Joker.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
It is interesting, because the Joker, it's kind of... He's almost on the rainbow, if you know what I mean. The way that he sounds.
The second of 12 TV specials.
Yes, this is the second of 12. So if we do all the TV specials to 91 and then do Garfield and Friends.
It'll be 12.
Yeah, it'll be 12, and then it'll be like 7 seasons of Garfield and Friends.
That's fine.
Yeah. So
I mean, one of my favorite podcasts is going over the Duggar show.
Oh, yeah.
They're going episode by episode.
Okay.
It started in 2004, ended in like 2022.
Wow.
So they're like, yeah, when we finish, I'm like, when you finish years from now, you're on season 5. You've been doing this for 3.5 years.
Yeah. So.
But I'm excited because I like them. So.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Same vibe.
So, Greg Berger, who is the voice of Odie, and
Just barking?
And I believe so. I think he does some other voices.
Okay, too. I was gonna say, does he just bark like a dog? Like,
yeah, basically. But we know him as really the voice of Odie, and he's done other voices too.
Oh, is it just? Oh, it looks like it's basically just video games and a couple random shows.
Yeah, because let's see.
He was a voice on Spyro.
Well, let's see.
That's crazy.
Because this is. Obviously, they're showing the original John. I'm sorry, everyone.
From January 8th of 76, I think is what that said.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. We kind of went down a rabbit hole here. So let's just do Garfield and Friends, right?
Right.
And it'll show...
Who was who.
Yeah, Odie voiced by Greg Berger.
Right, and he did a voice in Final Destination games and obviously some other games.
But we'll just go back here. Okay, here he is. So his career filmography, this might help us, the Greg Berger filmography.
Okay.
Because if it shows
Astro Boy.
Television, okay, here we go. Odie, and he was the Pleasure Motors salesman. And here comes Garfield. The guy on the TV.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
He was Alley Cat, Odie, Gang Cat number 1, and Sly.
Oh, Sly was...
so he just meowed real loud. He didn't say a word.
Yeah, but being the gang... So he does more than that, because look, he was in Super Friends.
He was in the Jetsons?
Yeah.
And Pink Panther and G.I. Joe. So he was just in all the classics.
Yeah, he was. Because look, even Garfield in the Rough, the next one, he's Ranger number 1, announcer, and Odie. Halloween Adventure, he's a TV announcer.
Garfield in Paradise, he's a pigeon, and Odie. He's in Gem?
Yeah, look
at him. He's so many people.
In Gem, yeah. And that's truly outrageous.
Oh, okay.
Look, in Garfield Goes Hollywood, he's Bob, Grandma Fogarty.
He's a grandma, too.
Now, in the Christmas special, he's only Odie.
Okay, and he's in Smurfs. He's just additional voices, but still.
9 Lives, he's Odie and Jester. I remember the Jester.
He's in Babes and Bullets. Is he just Odie? He's not. Who's Bert Fleabish? Is he the guy who's, killed?
No, Bert Fleabish is isn't Bert Fleabish the coroner?
I don't remember the character's name.
He might be the coroner. That's what I'm thinking. Because he's the guy that, we'll get there. We will get there. And look, it says here Garfield and Friends, just Odie and additional voices.
121 episodes, main role.
Yeah. So we now know how many episodes of Garfield and Friends there are.
Okay.
Yeah, Babes and Bert Fleabish. Wow. And just
DuckTales.
DuckTales, he was High Monkey Duck.
Mucky Duck, yes.
And then Odie, and Garfield Gets a Life. Odie, Stinky, announcer, man number 2.
Yeah.
Garfield Feline Fantasies, he's the waiter, and Odie.
In Garfield Thanksgiving, he's just Odie, but he's still there.
Yeah.
So basically, he barks and meows a lot and sometimes speaks.
Yeah.
He's the pirate and the captain in the Little Mermaid show?
Yeah. And look, he's various voices in Rugrats.
5 episodes. He's probably a Fantastic Four show.
Yeah, he was Mole Man in the 94 Fantastic Four show. Wow.
He was in Batman the Animated Series also.
He was Cornfed the Pig in Duckman. That's a main role.
70 episodes.
Yeah, because Cornfed was Duckman's partner. Duckman was Jason Alexander.
Okay.
Oh, he was Vincent Starkey. We were just talking about Batman the Animated Series and A Bullet for Bullock. That's a great episode.
He's in
one of the best.
The Twisted Tales of Felix the Cat.
Wow.
He's Mysterio and Kraven and Spider-Man the Animated Series.
Yes. Johnny Quest. Superman the Animated Series. He's agent number 2 and a manager.
Johnny Bravo. Just various voices, but still.
Cow and Chicken.
He has a real extensive career of being random voices.
He does. Look, Hey Arnold, Angry Beavers.
Wild Thornberries.
Yeah.
Speak of the devil here.
Yeah.
It's probably just 2 studios. It's hey, you're a good voice.
Yeah. So they use them. And then
Static Shock.
Yeah, but also Warner Brothers is using it too. So
yeah.
Time Squad. Time Squad was a good show. And believe it or not, there was a robot in Time Squad that was voiced by Mark Hamill, one of the main characters. Since we were just talking about Mark Hamill.
Oh, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy's fun.
Yeah. Oh, and look, in the Garfield show, 115 episodes. Wow.
Brave and the Bold, too.
But those episodes, and even like Garfield and Friends, now that I think about it, it's at 121. I wonder if they count each like 7-minute thing as an episode.
They might. There's also 7 seasons.
Yeah.
And 20-some per season. So that would actually just...
Yeah, and there's usually 2 Garfield episodes in a half hour.
And then there's also the middle of...
Yeah. Oh,
Orson's Farm, or
yeah.
What it's called. That's not what it's called.
Well, it starts out as Orson's Farm, then it's U.S. Acres.
See,
yeah.
I just watched the first episode. That's why I was like, yeah, that's what it's called.
Either one is correct. And look, even Star Wars, Clone Wars, Transformers.
And Rebels, he's the same person. Look at that. Continuity.
Spider-Man, another Spider-Man, he's the Absorbing Man. And Absorbing Man in Avengers Assemble. He
does a lot of such random voices.
He does.
Okay, good for him.
Yeah, well, Greg Berger, you're more than just Odie. And that's cool.
A lot of these were animals, though.
Yes, they were. They were. And this is, it was first broadcast October 28th, 83, and it won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Animated Program.
It's released on Laserdisc and DVD.
Yes, and Laserdisc is fantastic.
It's amazing.
It is. Now, the plot, actually, this has the basic plot.
Mm-hmm.
Should I just read it down and then we can just talk about it? I mean, we have it playing in the background.
Yeah, but it's like close to the end now.
Yeah.
It's only 24 minutes long.
Yeah, it's not. Okay, so basically, in the beginning, it doesn't say it here on Wikipedia, but in the beginning, Garfield and Odie are kind of fighting, and they tear up the house.
Yes.
And then Wikipedia starts off by saying John Arbuckle, who, as everyone should know, is Garfield's owner. He becomes concerned about Garfield and his behavior. Oh, it does say after he and Odie mess up the house.
Yeah, he says that Garfield's getting too erratic, which is funny. I think he just says that because he's lazy, and he's like, you have too much energy. I think something's wrong. Yeah,
because his job is, he's a cartoonist, as everyone knows. Who's a Garfield fan? They all know. That's why he's always home. And apparently at the time, cartoonists were getting paid a lot of money. That's how he could afford to feed Garfield.
Also how he could afford to just go to the vet on a whim.
Yeah, that's true. Because he calls up Liz Wilson.
Yes, her last name is Wilson, we learned. She said, I need to talk to Dr. Wilson, and then Liz picked up the phone.
Yeah, and she's like, you're terrible. Because she's like, okay, so...
Oh, they say it. Good.
Okay, so Garfield decides to take... So John decides to take Garfield to the pet hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And then Garfield is like messing around in the car like kids do.
Yes, he's not buckled up and he's not in a cage. He is just loose in the car. Yes. So the opening scene of him in the car is him on John's face covering his eyes. And John's like, just get off of me.
Yeah.
I don't know verbatim what he says, but he says something like, I need to see. Get off of me.
Yeah, basically. And of course... You know, we hear Garfield, but John can't, even though it seems like John can.
I'm pretty sure he can.
Yeah. I mean, we're breaking the laws of everything anyway, so why not have it exist in a universe where John can at least communicate with Garfield, even if what we're hearing is just for the audience?
Well, it's like, I feel like it's like dogs and cats who look like their owners. They clearly understand each other.
Yes.
Whenever they obviously can't speak the same language.
No.
I mean, cats can say hello. That's about it. But they're just mimicking human sounds.
There's a good episode of the animated series of Garfield and Friends that we'll get to eventually where I think Garfield makes a wish and he and John trade places, or John makes a wish and they trade places.
What, season 6 or something?
I think it is. Yeah. It's towards the end. Yeah. And so I think our guy, who will always mispronounce his name, we'll just call him Mark, the main writer of Garfield and Friends.
It's definitely French, and I just don't know how to say it.
Yeah. We'll just say Ivanier, like Perrier, the water. We'll just say it like that. So the main writer, who we love and adore, and I think he addresses a lot of the issues that people have with Garfield throughout the series, which is great. And I think that is addressed at that point.
Well, I think because, like, any good writer does that. They're like, oh, you have a problem with this? Oh, you don't think that's continuitous? Let's either make it or make it not possible.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Like, there's a really great episode where I think Garfield, they actually go over how cartoons are made at the time, and Garfield gets sucked into this computer.
I remember this one.
Yeah, and they actually show like a Scooby-Doo type of cartoon, which is great because Mark Evanier wrote like Scooby and Scrappy-Doo cartoons, even though Scrappy-Doo was the worst. But he wrote like some really good ones. So it's like he's even then making fun of like his own career.
Doesn't
and the type
also
of
have like a Flintstones one in there too or something?
Yeah. It's a few different ones, and it's incredible because just seeing like because it's like just one female character, so it's like Daphne and Velma, but I think she's brown, which is cool because now that Velma cartoon, Velma's brown.
Isn't she Indian?
Yeah, because it's Mindy Kaling.
Yeah,
but it's interesting that like he did that cartoon in like the early 90s, you know, so it's like ahead of his time. And like how weird like the Freddy character looks just like standing there, and like the Shaggy character is like punk, and it's just it's so funny. Great. Yeah. And like different versions of Garfield to look like different characters. It's just incredible. Anyway,
they changed the version to fit the animation style.
Yes. And it was cool to see because there's even an episode that makes fun of like the X-Men, and it's just incredible. So, but that has nothing to do with Garfield on the Town.
No. But
that's just a preview of things to come. So
give it like 3 years, we'll get there.
Yeah. So Garfield falls out of the car window because, of course, the window's down. Because he's like playing in the breeze with his paw, like you normally stick your hand out the window.
He left the window open like he would for Odie, and Odie would stick his tongue out, and Garfield fell out the window.
Yes. And John just keeps driving.
He didn't notice him, even though he was probably meowing the entire time because he was talking.
Yes. Like, yeah, that's a good way to think about it. Every time Garfield talks, even though we don't see his mouth move, just think of him as meowing. And that's probably all John hears is meow, meow, which is my impression of a cat doing a ventriloquist act from an old Tex Avery cartoon. It's like meow, meow. So that's what he's saying. And so
see the cat. Okay.
Oh, go ahead. Do you want to?
So he gets lost in downtown, and he's like, "Oh, this is great. No vet, no John, no one controlling my life.
Freedom.
Let me skedaddle, scram, look around." So he goes and stands up against a wall and like cat calls on 3 different cats, and they all tell him to get lost in different ways. It's very funny. He's like,
because a cat is cat calling.
Yes.
And
it's also his first time ever interacting with women that.
It actually is.
Except for, like, maybe Normal, because depending on the continuity.
Yeah, Normal might be female or male.
You don't know.
Yeah,
so, like,
until later on in Garfield and Friends.
So, yes. First time ever interacting with women. He hasn't met Penelope yet. Nothing like that. So, he does that. And the one looks like her, because it's a pink cat with a long neck.
Yes,
it's the first one. So, it might be her. I have no idea.
It might be her unofficial first appearance.
They might have just been like that's a cute design. Let's reuse that.
Yeah, they can retcon it, so then it's her. Yeah.
Imagine they brought that up and we never noticed. We'll find out.
Yeah, they might have.
But he's right next to an alley when he does that. So then he turns and goes into the alley, and there's graffiti all over the walls of different names and stuff. Yeah. And then he gets to a trash can.
What's that one name that's...
I don't know.
It's like... I forget what it is.
There's so
Cholo.
Many. Yes, it says Cholo.
Yeah, it does.
And I was like, what is this? Why is this? And there's a name under it, and I couldn't read it.
Yeah, because a lot of that stuff is usually written so you can't really read it. But kind of like in a dream, you're not supposed to be able to read in a dream.
Yeah. Also, when he's walking, the backgrounds look awful. Yeah. Like, the shoes, they look like something I would have drawn in, like, 3rd grade. But you're supposed to pay attention to Garfield walking, not the background. So it's like, oh, that's clearly, like, a Macy's. Oh, that's clearly, like, a store. Like, that's all you're supposed to know.
Yeah.
Then he goes to this trash can, and right next to the trash can, it says The Claws in big, puffy letters. So he's like, oh, that's clearly... And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's clearly a gang.
Yeah.
And he opens up this trash can and is like, ooh, I'm hungry. This is probably good food. He knocks on it and says, ooh, it's galvanized. This must be good. And then he opens it, and then this cat pops up out of nowhere.
With a mohawk and a gold tooth.
Yes, he's purple. He looks like he's supposed to be Italian. Like...
So he's a stereotype.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because, like... when I first saw him, I was like, okay. I mean, he looks like he's supposed to be part of like a gang because just the way he was talking, being in an alley, I just kind of assumed that.
Yes, yeah.
Especially because it's from the 80s.
Yes, yeah. And we were talking about that because the early 80s, you had like the Warriors. And, you know, people, you mentioned West Side Story right away because of a later scene. Mm-hmm. And that makes sense because this was only like 24 years after West Side Story or whatever. So, you know, or maybe even less. So West Side Story was still popular and it's probably still playing in on Broadway, you know? And you have what? West Side Story, The Warriors. You were saying The Outsiders.
I said The Outsiders and Rumblefish because I'm pretty sure the movies came out like, what, 84, 85?
Yeah, yeah. But 83 was The Outsiders.
Okay, so it was 83 and 84. They came out 1 year, one after the other.
Yeah.
But the books were already out and they were already popular enough to make movies. And that type of storyline was popular to have Italian mafia, Italian gangs fighting other groups. That was like a thing.
And think about it, you also had Grease. Yes. Because they were greasers. They were kind of like the T-Birds were like a gang in Grease.
I did say that too.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was later.
Yeah.
But yes. So
and then this would have been right after Grease 2, the greatest film in the Grease franchise.
I do actually like it. I don't like it more than one, but I do like the movie.
Did you ever see Rise of the Pink Ladies that was on Paramount Plus a couple years ago?
I don't think so.
That actually wasn't bad.
Okay.
I think Paramount Plus got rid of it though after it aired.
Why did they do that?
I don't know.
Like they did with the Willow show. Disney pretend it didn't exist. For what?
But you spent the money on it. People watched it.
Felicia liked it, so it has to get removed.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
Every single time.
Yeah, because she liked Willow and she liked Rise of the Pink Ladies. You're right.
Yes, and that one show she's watching on YouTube that I've never seen aired on TV.
Rise of the Secret, or Legend of the Secret. Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Like, I didn't even know that show existed, and it has, like, 2 seasons.
2 seasons, and it was on ABC. It was a Disney show.
Yeah, so, like, definitely not on Disney.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, you're right.
So this cat shows up, and then Garfield's like, okay, I'm just gonna walk away. This is your food. I don't want it anyway. Because when he opened the trash can, it had the green stuff, like it was stinky old food.
Yeah, like rotting whatever, yes.
Yes. And then the cat's like, well, this is my domain. This is my trash can, my food. And he's like, oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, take it.
Yeah, great.
I don't even want it. And then he's like, ha, you ain't going to get away that easily. Then he pops up, and then just a whole bunch of other cats show up. There's like 18 cats behind him.
And the weird thing is, that cat was like weirdly jacked.
Yes.
He was like Garfield's height, but like super jacked. And
he was like the same size as him, but pure muscle.
Yes, yes.
You're like, okay.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Your hair makes you taller, but like,
that
you are the same size. So then they obviously, it ensues that the cats chase Garfield, because of course they do. They chase him out of the alley, and then he turns a corner and he sees an opening in like this dilapidated old building, and he runs in and he's like, oh, this smells familiar. Where am I? Why is this familiar to me? And you look at the floor and you're like, oh, this was an Italian restaurant.
Yeah,
I can tell this was an Italian restaurant.
Yeah, you can tell it's like a stereotypical Italian restaurant.
It's the white and red tile flooring.
Yes, yeah.
And like the kitchen and the dining room were together.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, traditional Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And then this cat comes out from the shadows and he looks and is like, Mom, is that you? And she's like, yes, Garfield, it is. Which my first thought was, how did his mom
name him Garfield?
Yes.
And John name him Garfield?
How? Like, what is that?
That, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he just looks like a Garfield.
That's not a name.
Like, but here's the crazy thing. Like, you know, like, let's say, hypothetically, after you were born, I was like, Cora. And I can't imagine your name being anything else after that. Now, if being able to speak helps in relaying that to people.
Yes.
Yeah, because
also
then,
being able to write.
Yeah, because then, like, let's say, obviously you weren't adopted after that, but let's say you're given up for adoption, but like, her name is Cora instead of meow, meow.
Instead of, I want lasagna.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Or like you smell it, and because cats have this thing where if they like something, they walk over, they paw it, they look at you, they paw it again, and then they try to eat it.
Okay. Is that really what they do?
the orange cats I'm around too.
Yeah, because we are talking about orange tabbies now, right?
We have 2 orange kittens at the house right now.
Okay. Are they outside or are they?
No, they're inside.
They're inside. Okay.
So basically, what happened was they were abandoned, and there was 3 of them. There's a black one and those 2, and they were from the same litter. So I don't know how one turned out fully black and the other 2 turned out fully orange. Yeah. I have no idea how that happened.
That's crazy.
They're really cute. But now the black one has been adopted away, so it's just the 2 orange ones left. And they can't be around dogs because dogs want to play, but they're bigger. And
they might be rough, right?
Yes, they will. Storm is very rough. And she's never rough on purpose, so humans don't get mad at her. Other dogs do, then they bark at her, and then she's like, okay, fine, I'll calm down. Yeah. And then humans yell at her, and she calms down. She's literally fine. It's just she has a lot of energy. So she can't play with the tiny kittens. So I put the dogs to bed last night, and then I let them out. I was eating white cheddar popcorn, right? So I was watching Iron Chef, letting them play, and then they jumped up onto the couch, which they are this big. I didn't even know they could jump onto the couch. And the one opened the bag, sniffed it, popped her head out, sniffed it again, and then tried to eat one.
Really?
So I'm assuming that's what happened with lasagna.
That actually sounds adorable.
I'm gonna be real, pretty sure that's happened with lasagna.
Yeah, but like...
It is really cute. And the other one was asleep in my arm when it happened. I'm like, this is adorable.
Yes, wow.
I love this.
Yeah.
But then I put them to bed. But they fell asleep on me because they're like, oh, you're warm.
Yes, and that obviously would help.
Yes, because they don't have a blanket like Garfield does. But I'm pretty sure that's how he could communicate the food he likes, even though they don't speak. Yeah,
and that makes sense, and that's how John would know he eats everything.
Yeah, because if he smells something good and he walks over to it and he paws it, he's like, meow, meow. I want some of that.
Yes, okay.
You can tell. And then, obviously, even if you're not supposed to feed it that, as long as it doesn't kill it, a lot of people feed their animals food they're not supposed to have.
Yeah.
Or you don't know it does that, and then you like, oh my god, I did that.
So before we continue with Garfield on the Town, did the cat get a piece of popcorn? White cheddar popcorn? No. Okay.
It tried.
Okay.
It was at the very bottom, and the bag was bigger than the cat.
Okay. So was it like a party-sized bag?
No, it was a mini one.
Oh, that's even more adorable.
Just really small.
That's even more adorable. Wow.
They're 4 months old.
Wow. That's incredible.
We have to wait till they're 6 months old to get them spayed. Pretty sure they're both girls. You can't really tell for a couple months, but based off of how I'm pretty sure that they're both girls, but neutered or spayed. Whatever.
Yeah.
Someone wants the one, but she wants it to get its rabies shot, and for that to happen before we give it to her.
Yeah.
So that's like 2 more months.
Okay.
Which is not that bad, actually.
Yeah, not at all.
And they're really tiny, but they're just eating. They're not Garfield.
Yeah.
Eats everything
and
gains weight.
And we were talking, like, the way that they draw Garfield, he's, like, a little portly.
Yeah.
Let's say. But he's not, like, morbidly obese. Like, they keep saying, the running joke is, like, Garfield is, like, the fattest MFer on the planet, and he's not.
He's not. Okay, so let's get back to this.
Okay.
He ran into his mom, and his mom was like, yes, this is where you were born. She showed him the corner where he was born, and then he's like, oh, I remember there being a stove here, where there's obviously pipes where a stove and oven used to be. It's like, I remember a table over there. I remember this over here. She's like, yes, you remember, yay. And then she takes him into the next room, and his whole family is there. All of the men in the family are overweight, except for one who looks like a drug addict.
Yeah, and I think he's supposed to look like that on purpose, because he's supposed to be like...
He looks like an alcoholic more than a drug addict.
Yeah, that's true. Although, if you're an alcoholic, wouldn't alcohol be your drug of choice?
Yeah, but whenever you think alcoholic, you think people being fat with the beer belly. When you think drug addict, you think people being thin.
That's true. Well, this cat was kind of thin, though. He looked more like the mom.
He had like a pork belly.
I see what you're saying.
Thin neck, big belly.
Yes.
Was like how he was built. Well, everyone else was built like Garfield, but they were all taller. They're all older than him.
Yeah.
He is the youngest one in his family, I think.
And his cousin, wasn't Sly his cousin?
Yeah, but I don't even know if Sly was a boy or a girl.
I'm not sure either.
Literally all Sly did was...
Oh, yeah, because he was watching the...
Yeah, that was pretty much exactly how he did it, too. Actually, I think I could do that.
Yeah, Greg Berger should be proud.
So happy. But that was a signal that the other gang showed up.
Yeah.
So Garfield was being introduced to his family. Like, this is your brother, Sly. And he, like, pops up out of, like, a toolbox or
Raul
something.
was his brother.
Raul, yes.
Yeah. Wait, was it a toolbox box or was it, like, couch cushions?
I don't know. It was something moved when he popped up.
And if it was a couch, were they in, like, a bathroom or something? Like a restroom?
I thought that they were just in, like, a big office.
Oh, yeah. So it'd probably couch in an office.
Because like the only 3 places is the kitchen, the dining room, and the office in most restaurants.
Yeah.
So I just assumed it was the office.
Yeah,
and it was
probably
real
was.
big, but I don't know. Also, we're seeing it from a cat perspective. It might not be that big.
Yeah, that's true.
It might be a regular size, and you can just fit 20 cats in there.
Yeah.
And it had some shelves and stuff, so it might have been just like a storage area too.
Yeah, because you'd have to have some kind of storage.
Yeah, and it didn't have to be refrigerated storage, so
it could, like dry goods.
Yeah, like the cats were sleeping on shelves, and there was a lot of them too.
Yeah, because pasta is dry
unless you make it homemade. Yeah. Then the flour's still dry.
Yeah. So that makes sense if it would be like a pantry type area / office.
Like the vegetables and the flowers. Yeah. If you get fresh vegetables, you don't have to refrigerate them if you're using them.
Yeah.
If you're not going to use them that day, you should. But like.
Yeah, because this would have been probably, let's say Garfield is at least like 4 years old at this point. This restaurant would have been operating in the 70s.
Yes.
So like by the end of Welcome Back, Kotter, when Horseshack was working in an Italian restaurant, it could have been that restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they were in there, and he was getting introduced, and everyone was making fun of him for being fat. Like, his grandpa was like 3 times bigger than him.
Yeah.
He was taller, but he was fatter than him. It's not like they were the same size and he was just taller.
Yeah, no.
Like, but everyone in the family is a mouser, so obviously they catch mice for a living. And his dad, who, I don't know how his dad's a bachelor whenever he has 2 children with his mom.
Yeah, I guess they're not married. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, but does that also mean that they're related? If they're still family? I think too much into a kid's show. It's fine.
You're going back to like the Book of Genesis here.
We're not. So. I'm not about to think too much into this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so his dad and his uncle and someone else was out. But I think how it worked was anyone in the family who's like young and middle-aged, but like a teenager, they go out hunting for the family.
Yes.
The women make the food.
Yeah.
And then the old men are like, oh, I earned my place. I can finally just sit here and rest. And that's why they gain weight. And that's why they're making fun of him for being young. I think is how that works.
Okay. That would make sense. Because then it's kind of like, you kind of have to...
Got to earn your place.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
They never said any of this. That's just my assumption as to why they're making fun of him, even though they're bigger than him.
Yeah, that's actually a good assumption, though, because he's just coming in. They're just meeting him. He hasn't earned anything yet.
Yes.
So even like Raul, who's in like...
something.
Yeah, but he's done something because they know him.
He looks like he was drinking the extra wine, is what he looks like.
Yeah, and he kind of looks like Bill the Cat from Bloom County. Have you ever seen Bill the Cat from Bloom County? Well...
While he looks this up, or finds this, the meowing sound I did earlier, his cousin Sly makes that sound while he's like being introduced to his grandpa. And... they're like, oh, the Claws showed up, I think is what they said. Or
yeah, the Claws. Yeah.
The Claws is the name of the gang. I don't remember verbatim what they said. So the gang followed Garfield to this place, and they start to have a dance scene, which is when I was like, oh, this is West Side Story. Because the guy is like snapping, and then they start dancing behind him, and they do like a choreographed dance. And then they're like, oh, do you want to have a fight? Do you want to like have a brawl? And then... his mom looks at him, looks at them, and says, yes, with crazy eyes. Insane green eyes. And it's like, okay.
Here's an early version of Bill the Cat.
Oh.
That orange cat that always looks like he was run over by something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Bill the Cat.
Okay.
That's sort of what Raul will look like.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of looks like a drugged out version of...
I guess I could have just looked it up here. Isn't that terrible?
That's fine. Of Hobbs from Calvin and Hobbes is what he looks like.
Yes, because believe it or not, the 80s, well, the 70s and the 80s was full of all sorts of orange cat, I'll say, creatures. Yeah.
That is exactly what he looks like.
Yeah. It would have been a lot easier just to type it in, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is Bill the Cat, who was created in Bloom County to kind of make fun of, like, characters like Heathcliff and Garfield and how they were kind of taking over media. Because after these specials, Garfield was a sensation.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, exactly. And And there's heart to him too, even though now the screen went blank because I hit pause. But, there's a heart to it because he's learning about himself and his family and that he was given up to have a better life.
Also, way earlier, I completely forgot about this. When he's first talking to the cat that's in the claws, he says, "Oh, this is nice for you in this economy."
Yeah, he's talking about Reaganomics.
Yes. He's talking about real life issues that is like, oh, that's still real today in 2025.
Yeah, 42 years later, it still makes sense.
But that's because we're still feeling the effects of Reaganomics, so obviously it's going to make sense. But
it's to trickle down. Everyone,
it's late stage capitalism.
Yay!
But it's very funny that he makes very adult jokes in kid shows. He's one of the first people I've ever seen do it successfully.
Yes.
Because people do it and then it's just outright inappropriate.
Yes.
Ren and Stimpy is meant for teenagers and adults. It is never meant for children. Even if you watch it as a child, it's not meant for children. And a lot of the 90s shows were definitely geared towards children, but not meant for them.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, because Ren and Stimpy started on Nickelodeon. Mm-hmm. But then they would show it more on MTV because it was more for adults and teenagers.
Ren and Stimpy, Cat Dog, Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah.
That was on what? Cartoon Network or something?
Yeah, Cartoon Network.
Yeah. Even though it was on Cartoon Network, that family was terrifying.
Yeah, and the thing is, without Garfield kind of paving the way, and it's more the specials and the show than the comic strip.
Yes.
You're right. And since Lorenzo Music helped co-write this, I believe he has a really good, he's gone now, sadly, but he had a really good hold on who the character was and the direction to take the character in. Because the way he delivers the lines,
it's just so monotone, and it's exactly how I feel about everything happening today.
I will tell you why I think it's monotone. Lorenzo Music was a writer and a producer and a co-creator of different shows in the 70s. Probably the most famous show he co-created was the Bob Newhart Show. Okay. So he must have been good friends with Bob Newhart, who was the king of deadpan.
That would make sense.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
It actually, based off of what he's saying, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That is, because he's not saying anything you need emotion for.
No.
And it would make it feel too exaggerated and too cartoony.
Yes,
it feels much more realistic, which is a dumb thing to say about an animated cat.
No,
for him.
But he's relatable that way.
Yeah, it's oh, that's how I feel as a child in this. Because John clearly understands what he's saying, even though he doesn't say anything.
Yes.
So it's this is how I feel as a child, or this is how I feel with my boss, or whatever. You relate to it no matter what life situation you're in if someone is over you, which is almost every life situation unless you're an oligarch.
Yeah. yeah. So, Russian billionaires are watching it I can't relate to this shit. This stuff.
Kim Jong-un's watching this is this what it would be like if I was anyone else?
Yeah, they probably think it's funny thinking that other people have to think like that.
I feel like everyone finds it funny for various reasons.
Yes, yeah.
But
because you did say Garfield's making a comeback. But
Garfield never left. It's just people are now actually
rediscovering, I guess.
Yeah, which is super weird to me because the one show came out that had that game that you would fight the aliens of were lasagna aliens.
Oh yeah, yes.
That game came out with the 2010s show.
Yeah.
Which was when I was a child. So why are people my age just now discovering it? It's stupid. Yeah. I find that stupid because this came out in the prime time for you to watch it, and you did not watch it. I'm not even saying watch the 80s, 90s shows, but why did you not watch the stuff that was actively coming out?
Yeah, the stuff that it was on Nickelodeon, wasn't it?
I'm pretty
sure. No, it was on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And then I think Nickelodeon bought the rights to Garfield because Jim Davis sold Paws, which is, the company that he had, that he made Garfield and US Acres and stuff with. He sold that and then he bought it back. And then I think Nickelodeon bought it because Jim Davis is getting older. He's in his 70s now. So
he's been making comic strips since 1976. I don't expect him to be young.
And even before that, because he was doing that Norm Nat comic strip. So it makes sense to sell it and to kind of...
He started young then.
Yeah, probably in his 20s, before... Because I want to say... Let's just look, because I'm not going to guess. Let's say Jim Davis, 45. So by the time he sold Garfield.
His birthday's Monday.
Wow, his birthday is Monday. That's crazy. So, wow, so he's going to be 80 on Monday.
He's born in Indiana.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
I love how the picture is him in 2010. That's a 15-year-old picture.
Yeah. And
wow, he's looked the same his whole life. That's crazy.
He actually grew into his, like Wilford Brimley disease. You look old forever, and then suddenly you look your age.
Actually, me and Dom were talking about that last night with British women. Like, you look 50 when you're 30, but then you look 50 till you're 80.
Yeah, yeah.
So it, like, works.
Yeah, we were talking about that with, like, Gene Hackman, too, in the Superman movie. How, like, he was my age now in Superman the movie. And I'm like, what? He was 47?
We're talking about Rebecca Ferguson. Because he's like, yeah, she's 40. She's 40? He's like, yeah, but she's going to look that way till she's 70. It's fine. It's like, well, yeah.
Yeah, she probably
is also really pretty. Like,
yeah.
I just thought she was older than she is.
Yeah, because it seems like she's been around for a while.
Yes.
But I guess she's just been, because I'm thinking of like Dr. Sleep and Dune, and obviously things before that.
That means in Dr. Sleep she was like 35.
That is what that means. Yeah.
I thought she was mid-40s.
Yeah.
But also, that means that she's looked the same since at least before then.
Yeah.
So good for her, honestly. Yeah, good, whatever. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So, my God, I lost my train of thought.
We're talking about Jim Davis?
Yeah, we were. And it's honestly, it doesn't really matter because I know we were talking about like, so we were at Garfield in the restaurant.
Oh, we were at them starting the gang fight.
Yeah, starting the gang fight. And actually, while this is going on, before any of this happened, John had called to talk to the. That's how we found out Liz's last name is Wilson.
Yes.
Because he called to talk to the vet because Garfield is now missing and he was going to the vet. Mm-hmm. So instead of actually stopping there, he just went back home to call her.
Yeah, but I don't think he wanted to stop without an animal. And I mean, she does think he's weird until they start dating.
Yeah.
So it's probably actually better for him to do it like that. And he has some type of social awareness, which I never expected from him.
Yeah, not at all. Now, Garfield and Friends, John, would not be this socially aware.
No.
Yeah. So he calls her to tell her that Garfield is missing to ask if anyone came in with Garfield. Mm-hmm. And she says no. And if anything's happened to him, he might need a tow truck because it's a fat joke.
So funny for that.
Yeah, she is cruel and unusual, but she is actually pretty funny. And so then he gets off the phone with her, and then it's back to Garfield and the Rumble. That's right. We were talking about the Rumble.
Yes.
So and the gangs and stuff. That's right.
So his family is like getting ready to tussle, right? And all of the cats, they break all of the wood that is holding the building together.
Oh, yeah.
Baffling. I don't know how all of them did that. There's not a single, because they like put wood over the windows and the door, because obviously it's abandoned.
It was boarded up, because it was abandoned, yes.
Dilapidated building. It obviously has no glass or door. So they break all of it. They have a fight. His family wins, but they're all like injured. And Garfield's like, whew, thank God we did that after he did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, he was just cowering.
He was just laying there, like, huddled up in the middle of the floor. He was not even in a corner. He was in the middle of the fight.
Yeah.
And his grandpa was just staring at him. And did his grandpa say anything to him, or did he just point and tell him to leave?
I think he actually told him to leave. I think he called him Lardball.
He did call him Lardball.
Because that's what because at first, the purple cat from the claws with the gold tooth and the mohawk, he calls him Furball, and then he calls him Lardball. So that's how the claws know him. And then his grandpa calls him Lardball, and it's kind of like, I guess that's
who you are.
Yeah.
And then his mom is like, you're okay. Okay, so he leaves, right? And he's standing right outside talking to his mom.
Yeah.
And his mom is like, it's okay that you're not a mouser. Not everyone is Mouser,
you're right. Yeah, Mouser.
And she's like, it's okay. This is not cut out for everyone. You're safe, happy, and healthy in your home. Go home.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. We love you. If you ever need anything, come find me. Not anyone else. Yeah. And I will help you. Because She can handle her own, apparently. She came out, no scratches, no nothing, in the middle of a fight.
And look, her eyes were something out of, like, the Emerald City.
Yeah, they were green, and they were, like, twinkling when they started fighting, like she's crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that happened. So then he starts walking home, and then he just lays in the middle of the sidewalk, and he's like, this is nice. Oh, nothing. And then he says something about how, like, nothing could be worse, and then it starts raining.
Yes.
And then...
Oh yeah. Well, he... Yeah, you're right. And then he sees a car.
He sees a red car, which is a generic red car. I've never seen a more generic red car in my life. And I thought there was a blonde woman in it when I first looked. I'm like, how do you know that that's John? Like, you can't read Nicest Place. How do you know that?
Yeah.
And then he starts chasing after it, like, John, come here. It turns out it was just Odie moving because he doesn't have cages for his pets.
No.
I assume he has an older car because he's a cartoonist who probably doesn't make a lot of money. Yeah. And if he has a 70s car, the likelihood of him having seatbelts is not high.
Yes.
So that would be why they're not buckled up. Why did they not have a cage?
That's a very good question. He wants them to go to the bathroom all over the car.
Apparently so. I have no idea.
That's what it is.
But then...
Like, if you're going to drop a deuce, it's going to be on the passenger seat or my shoulder.
Back seat, maybe?
Yeah, back seat.
I don't know. Out the window if you want. The window's open.
Yeah, that's true. Like, just hang your butt out the window and just
maybe that's what Garfield was doing, and that's why he fell.
Maybe.
I have no idea.
He was doing the do, and just it was done.
I guess so. But then Garfield's like, oh, that's John. And then he starts running. And he runs for like half a block. He runs past 3 stores. And then
passes out.
He falls into a puddle of water. And Odie's like, oh my God, Garfield. Because I think he smelled him. And he starts barking.
Oh, yeah. Odie probably does have a good sense of smell. Yeah.
I would assume that's why. They're like 8 blocks ahead of him. And he just starts barking. And then John's like, what? Oh. So that he backs up the entire way down the street.
He does.
And then he picks him up. And it's like, oh, welcome home.
Well, actually, he looks at him. He's like, Garfield?
And then he
as if he doesn't already know. He's like, this fat slob.
That's why he needs a collar.
Yeah, you're right.
They talk about this in the first one. They have no collars.
You're right. That's when like the Fred Flintstone voice, their neighbor ends up calling the pound. You're right.
The hick granddad next door.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus, you traumatized your poor kitten. Like, what the heck?
Yes.
So... yeah, he should really invest in collars on these pets. It is not that expensive.
I don't know, in that economy.
I don't know. If he can afford a vet visit once a month, I think he can afford a collar.
Yeah, that's true. And a vet visit for Odie and Garfield. That's 2 separate visits.
I don't think Odie goes. I think it's just Garfield. Odie probably goes once or twice a year.
Yeah.
He probably has a 6-month checkup.
Maybe to get like dewormed or something.
If he needs it.
Yeah, he might not.
But yes, so then... he picks him up and it's like, oh, welcome home. Puts him in the car and there's a pillow, lasagna that looks hot and steaming on his leather seats, and then a rose that's untouched from him abruptly stopping, just sitting in the middle of the seat.
In a vase.
Yes, the vase, it's not moved.
It's on the seat. As if, he was expecting to find Garfield and to woo him over.
Yes, like, I want you to come home. As if he didn't just get lost.
Well, he didn't know that. Maybe he thought Garfield ran away to not go to the vet.
Yeah, he doesn't like the vet.
Yeah.
Why would you? Most pets don't. Some pets like it because they get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And they're like, people like me. But as soon as they get a shot, most of them don't like it. So.
People like me.
But yeah, because...
it makes sense.
Yeah, if they've only have good interactions with people, why would they not like people?
Yes.
That's how I feel about these kittens. I'm like, clearly people have been good to them if they want to be around me.
Yeah.
But they keep, like, I think someone stepped on one of them because every time I step around them, they, like, cower. And I know it was an accident.
Yeah.
It actually wasn't that one. Someone stepped on the black one.
So they just learned from...
yeah, so then I'm very purposeful to not step on them when they're out and about just running. Because I don't want to do that. They're very tiny. Now, it wasn't hurt, but it definitely was not feeling great for a day.
Yeah.
So I think that's just what happened there. But that doesn't mean they're afraid of humans. That just means that they're like, ooh, I don't like feet.
Yeah. I don't like feet either.
Me neither.
I've been kicked too many times. So.
I just see too many of them.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, you would.
Yes.
So. Oh, yeah. So then they go back home.
Yes.
It's Garfield gets into his box that he sleeps in, wakes up the next morning, and sees his mom staring in the window, and she's happy. And then he thanks his mom for everything.
His mom walks away before he thanks her.
Yes, so he just kind of says it into the ether.
Wind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that way. I hope you hear this, Mom, even though he's like, meow, meow, which is thank you, Mom, for everything.
I think she actually understands him.
I think
she's also a cat.
Yeah, because they're able to communicate that way, yeah. They speak each other's language.
Before all of that happens, he's looking in a mirror, and I liked the animation in the mirror because it's actually, the mirror is angled up. Or, I guess it's angled down, but for him it's up.
Yes.
And I like how they had his eyes open at different angles from the mirror to what we're seeing because it's different.
Yeah.
And then whenever you see the forward-facing view, it's the same. I'm like, oh, that is the most dimensional animation I've seen in this entire special. No wonder it won an Emmy.
And that's the thing, though, about these specials. Like, they really focused on the animation, even if the backgrounds were simple.
The backgrounds are not that great, but I think it's nice having a simple background because I don't pay that much attention. I mean, I was paying attention to it, but I've seen it before. The first time I watched it, I was not going to pay attention to the background.
Yeah. You're just going to look at the characters because that's really what you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how they do it. And they spend more time on it. Like, it's not as limited as, like, Garfield and Friends.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, they can take their time. Like, they could take a year to produce this if they wanted to instead of, okay, we need to do 26 of these in a year. Like there's a difference.
And we get 2 weeks for 3 different animated specials.
Yeah.
Like,
what?
2 Garfield and Friends and 1 not Garfield and Friends. We need 3 in 2 weeks. That's crazy.
The way, I think Hanna-Barbera in the 50s and 60s kind of streamlined that process, at least before they started to outsource to other countries. Because I know in like the 80s and I think the 90s definitely, and maybe even the early 2000s and probably some now, they would outsource to like Korean animation studios. And that's not a bad thing because, you know, the directors would, you know, storyboard. So all the action is there. They do animatics. So it's more just like in betweening, I guess, and doing like key scenes. So it's not bad. It's just they're able to do it faster than like American studios. Whereas in like the 50s and 60s and 70s, you had like Hanna-Barbera and then Filmation and a few other studios like Film Roman who would, I believe, do their animation in the United States. But then it became more costly.
Yes, that is how everything became.
Yeah.
That's why nothing happens here.
Because even Rocky and Bullwinkle, so like Jay Ward Studios, they would animate in Mexico because it was cheaper.
Yeah. They've been outsourcing things in Mexico long before people thought.
Yeah.
And because there was, well, it wasn't NAFTA at the time, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah, whatever trade agreements they were.
I knew the name of it, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. It was NAFTA until recently. You could do it without extra fees because free trade agreement. Because we're on the same continent.
We're in continent together. Wait.
No.
Okay.
But, like, yeah, it's just one of those things. If it's cheaper to do something, people are going to choose a cheaper option because they want money. That is the definition of capitalism.
Yeah.
Why do people act like that's not how capitalism works?
Because the people who are talking about it believe that the people listening don't actually know how it works. Because if you have an idea of something, it's different than actually knowing what something is. If that makes sense.
Well, yeah.
It's easier to manipulate the way people think about things.
I've gathered that based off of people's definitions of a lot of things.
It's like how woke has been misappropriated.
That's why I hate that word.
To mean anything bad instead of actually like, oh, now I can actually see what's going on.
Yeah,
like I was asleep now.
Yes, that's literally just means you woke up to something.
Yeah.
It's good or bad. It could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. It was never meant to be exclusively bad.
Yeah, no.
You could have been like, oh, I was in an abusive situation and I woke up.
Yeah.
That's like, it could mean something like, I became woke to this, which would be a weird way to word it, but that would be a proper use of the word. Yeah,
because like, I know like I say a long time ago, it's not that long ago, but like, if you remember, Felicia and I would go to like meetings in Delaware back when.
I remember.
Yeah.
Of course.
So that was more of like I think it was called like the conscious community at that time. That's sort of like part of like woke stuff because you're learning about things to kind of help you break whatever programming you would have to make you think things are a certain way when they're really not. It's sort of the best way to say it.
I think that's what these shows try to do too.
Yes, yeah.
Which is interesting, because rewatching things now, seeing how the world is.
Yeah.
You watch things from like the 50s and 60s where propaganda's outright Cold War propaganda's in your face.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, so a new kid's hide under a desk. Perfect.
Oh my God, yeah.
Makes perfect sense. Or like, whatever, Russians are bad, which some are, some aren't. Same with everyone else. Like, what do you mean? Like, that is the same with everybody.
Yeah.
But like, or what? North Koreans are bad. I don't really think the general population would be. Just the people in power, which is how I feel about pretty much every other country.
It's sort of like the whole thing with like, let's say like the situation in Gaza or Palestine, you know, and all that. It's like Hamas leadership is bad, but not all Palestinians are bad.
Funnily enough, less than 8% of the population voted for them because over half the population was under 18 and only men could vote.
Yeah, so...
And they only got 18% of the vote, but they got the highest percentage.
Yeah, so it's like...
18% of less than half of a half turns out to 8% of the population. And why are you acting like everyone voted for it? It's the same thing everywhere. And it's like... The things that we get to have commentary on this are things like the Superman movie that just came out.
Yes, yeah.
Or cartoons.
Yeah.
Or comics.
It's weird how Garfield ends up being kind of political in a way.
They're talking about Reaganomics.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's because of what Garfield said, though.
Like, there's probably crazy. Other things he said that I just didn't pick up on.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But, like, since he commented on that, I'm probably going to listen closer.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things that I never thought. I was a child. Why would I think about that? It was not affecting my life directly in a way I knew.
Yes.
So it's not like it was something I was going to listen for, but it's something that if, like, you were watching as a parent, you'd chuckle and be like, yeah, that's how it is. And then you would just, like, walk away. Whatever. That is how cartoons have been forever. It's like cartoons they used in the 40s to distract children from the war.
Yes, yeah.
They were outright like, hey, this is what it's like to have a hero. This is what it's like to have someone save you.
Yeah.
This is what's happening.
Yeah.
Even if it's not what's happening, it's a way to give people hope or to comment on the situation.
Yeah.
It does one of two things. That's what all of them have always done.
Yeah, that's true.
Or make you mad depressed.
That's true.
But like,
I've been thinking about that since Superman. Like that film is full of hope in spite of reality, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and all the analogies, really funny how they are very just based in reality. But it's the same difference for most things. I mean, you watch, like, okay, I'm rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay, the cartoon.
Obviously.
Yeah, well, no, because they have that live action version. It's pretty good.
I haven't watched it yet. I was going to rewatch the animated one first.
Okay, you'll love it because it's actually done with care and the same producers and creators.
As soon as they cast people that fit the ethnic group that people were supposed to be, I was already like so much better.
Yeah.
Immediately was like, oh, this is going to be actually okay at least.
But and the guy that plays like Uncle Iroh? Uncle
Iroh made me cry in the last episode I watched.
What was it, the one about his son?
No.
Oh, really?
No, it wasn't.
Because that's
the last one that the original voice actor recorded because he died.
Oh, really?
The song he sings of the tree is the last thing he ever recorded for the show before he died.
Wait, the song about his son?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, that makes me cry every time I think about it. But yes,
oh my God.
When I watch it, I'm probably gonna bawl. But anyway,
wow.
Yeah, I'm rewatching that show. That show was really fucking political.
Oh yeah, completely.
But like when I was 7, I obviously didn't notice that.
Yeah, no.
But watching it now, like, okay, so we have all different kinds of governments, all different reactions to things, and children being like, hey, we can't put up with this for everyone else. We put up with this for too long.
Yeah.
Let's do something about it. So they're causing a revolution, but the person is a pacifist and he actually sticks to what he's doing. And that's the crazy part. Honestly.
Oh, Aang, you mean? Yeah,
yes. Yeah. The fact that Aang doesn't kill... this is going to be a spoiler for a show that's ended a long time ago, but that's fine. He doesn't kill the Fire Lord at the end, and he actually sticks to what he believes in, I feel like makes the entire show worth it.
He's a Superman character, if you think about it. Because Superman, like, the thing about Man of Steel that a lot of people complained about was that Superman, another spoiler, Superman killed Zod at the end. But Zod didn't give him a choice. And if you look at it from the lens of, like, he's been Clark Kent, he found out he's also Kal-El, he's not Superman yet. But killing Zod is that moment that made him Superman. He's like, I don't want to have to ever do this again because he forced me to do it. But he was like the only other person. I know there are other Kryptonians, but he's the only other person who could help me understand who I am and why I am the way that I am. And he forced me to kill him. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's the moment that forced Kal-El to become Superman and to not kill after that. And that's why in Batman versus Superman, he's like, I know you want to kill me, but let's talk this out. Let's not do this.
Yes.
And even in Justice League, like, Wonder Woman is the one who, like, beheads Steppenwolf. Okay, there's a few spoilers for these films.
Movies have been out for a long time.
I know. But you know, so it's like Superman's not the one doing it because that Zod moment meant so much because it was him killing the last Kryptonian other than himself that could help him understand himself. Mm-hmm. And so he had to become Superman after that. He had to reinvent himself. And people don't see it that way, that, like, the world that we were living in then and even now is super dark.
Yeah.
And he's trying to be light, but Aang is, in that way, Aang is that Superman because he's like, you know, you don't have to do this, but he has all the powers to be able to do that.
Oh yeah, I mean, he knows how to, like, metal bend, blood bend, lava bend.
Yeah,
On top of regular bending, he can do all of the special ones.
Yes, yeah.
And he's still just like, nah, I'm just gonna take your powers and leave.
Yeah. That
is crazy. I don't think I could have that much, like, will in me to not kill someone after they are like. Even if it's not, they didn't directly do anything. First of all, you've been trying to kill me for the past year, and you tried to kill all of my friends. Yeah. And how you treated your son, which, by the way, don't think I would have forgiven Zuko, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Because they're all teenagers. This is not like one's an adult and one's a teenager.
Yeah, no.
They're all teenagers, and I know he was 13 and just trying to get his honor back, but if I'm 12, I ain't forgiven that.
Yeah,
If I was 20 and he was 13, totally different story.
Yes, yeah.
But, no. But, like... He's like, this is how you treated your children. Because Azula's like 12.
Wow.
She's younger than Zuko, and Zuko's 13 when it starts.
Yeah.
Completely forget about that every single time I watch the show.
Yeah, I do too, because every once in a while, Felicia puts it on and we watch it.
Yeah. Forgot about that until pretty recently. But also the fact that most of the children's media is actually just, like, I guess authoritarian would be the word.
Yeah, that's really what it is, because it's not like, it's in a democracy, you know, you're not going to have, like, you know, fascism, authoritarianism, oligarchy. Ideally, you're not going to have that in democracy. You might have a little bit of communism, socialism, and capitalism mixed, like we do in the United States.
That is how most governments run, though, because socialism would be social programs helping people.
Yeah, yeah.
Communism.
That's why we pay taxes.
Communism would be like farm subsidies.
Yeah, yeah. Helping. I mean, if you're in a commune.
Yeah. It'd just be like those types of things helping people, which is not even really communism, but if you're going to define it, that's what it would be.
Yes, yeah.
And then capitalism would be the opportunity for economic growth.
Yeah. Because of all those other things.
And I don't think any government of one structure works, period.
Yeah, that's why they usually fall. I'm not much of a Roman history expert, but they always talk about the fall of Rome. Whatever type of government that was, maybe that's why.
Yeah, but they also got too big.
And then they couldn't control.
Same with the Mongol Empire. They got too big.
Wow.
So, because Mongolia had, like, all of Asia up until, like, Turkey for a long
is that
time.
Like the Genghis Khan? Yeah, okay.
The Khan family. There's like 13 generations of them or something.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
I think something like that, yeah.
They might be the wrong number. There's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yes.
Too many.
But yeah, cartoons have always been political, and they will always be political, I think. Yeah. Because it's a way of subtly introducing children to real world ideas and problems that they will have to solve. Hunger Games, an amazing example of this. Okay, so the new Hunger Games book came out.
Okay.
Right, so the one that came out before, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, it came out in 2020. And Suzanne Collins hates Trump.
Okay.
She's never explicitly said this, but she made Snow to be Trump in this book.
Okay.
And it's his origin story, but basically...
They just made a movie out of it, didn't they, recently?
They didn't just. It was like 3 years ago.
Okay,
yes, there is a movie about it, yes.
Okay.
The woman who plays Snow White plays Lucy Gray. Lucy Gray... The fact that Disney canceled her for being pro-Palestine after she played Lucy Gray is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my
Rachel
life.
Ziegler.
Yes.
Who was also in the remake of West Side Story by Steven Spielberg, yes.
Why are you picking people you know are one way politically and then firing them for being that way? Also, why would you pick someone who's not white to play the character whose skin is white as snow?
Yeah, that's true.
The fact that I never cared for Little Mermaid because it wasn't part of her character. It's part of her character. Why would you pick someone who is not fitting of the character?
You're sounding like me with the Umbrella Academy now.
Well, it's just like her entire characterization is her dark hair and her white skin.
Yeah.
You can't pick someone who's not. The Little Mermaid, you just need red hair. You don't need anything else.
But with The Little Mermaid, I think I don't mind, what's her name, Halle Bailey? I don't mind, because I like seeing like Zendaya as MJ. I like seeing diversity in characters that I'm used to not seeing diverse, because I think it makes characters more interesting. Because now, you can do something with their background that you never could before or whatever.
Yeah.
But with The Little Mermaid, if she's living underwater, how is she getting any sun?
If she's around the surface a lot.
Okay.
You still get UV rays when you're on the surface.
Okay.
And also...
Because that was my thing. I'm a nitpicker like that. I'm like, wait, if she's totally underwater...
She goes to the surface. She should be tan anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. I guess it does make sense.
And, it doesn't... It's not that weird that she would... Okay. Most of the Afro sci-fi content I have read or listened to,
like Afrofuturism stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or in the past, either way.
Yeah.
Has been relating to space and water.
Okay.
So the one, I think I told you about this, but basically I did because you bought me the book. The Deep.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so basically this band, Clipping, one of my favorite bands, they have a new album coming out, which is actually just a deluxe edition of another album that came out. I'm very excited. But it's coming out in 59 days.
Okay.
I don't know. I looked on Spotify yesterday, so I'm not even going to wait for the countdown. But still.
Okay.
I am excited. But they came out with an EP I think the EP is called The Deep. I don't know. But basically, the story...
is that David Diggs or
yes.
something? Yes, okay.
So
I remember.
David Diggs' music group.
Okay.
He has. And basically... The storyline is that there was pregnant African slaves that were pushed off of a ship, or ship went overboard, and since they were pregnant, the women were the babies were still swimming in the womb. So when the mom died, if you were 9 months pregnant, the baby still lived and became like a mermaid. That is the point that's the storyline.
Have you seen Wakanda Forever yet?
No.
Okay. All right, please continue.
So that is what that is about. And then the Deep book is about 4 generations later. And then
I remember this now.
And then in the song, the underwater people are fighting surface dwellers, and it's a whole thing. And they speak with sonar like dolphins do, because that's who raised them.
Yes.
Because it's like children raised by wolves. They're raised by dolphins because something found them and they have a maternal nature. Even if they're aggressive animals, they're like, oh baby.
Yes.
Let's take care of you. So that's most of the media I consume. So that doesn't surprise me that she's black. It never bothered me.
Yeah.
Never twice thought about it.
Honestly, the only reason it bothered me was if she's underwater, how much sun is she really getting? I think about more the logistics of it than the actual casting, if that makes sense. I'm I want it to make sense logically, even though mermaids don't exist. I need this to make sense in some way scientifically, kind of like how in Planet of the Apes, the original one, the fact that they came back to Earth 18 months later and it was 2,000 years in the future makes sense because of the theory of relativity. When you're away from the Earth's gravity, time is different. Yeah. Yes. So that made sense to me logically and scientifically, even though it's a sci-fi movie.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only reason. I'm like, what? But I'm like, well, she looks good as the Little Mermaid, you know?
Yeah.
She fit the character.
The red hair is, like I said, was the only thing that mattered. They gave her red braids.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I know, like, right-wing media freaks out over everything. Like, that whole is Superman woke BS from a couple weeks ago.
He has, in fact, always been woke.
Yeah, he's always been an illegal alien immigrant taking jobs from Americans. And because cops don't do their job, apparently, or there wouldn't be crime.
There wouldn't be a Batman. There wouldn't be a Superman. Yeah. There wouldn't be any of this. Yeah, but it's whatever.
Yeah, if the authorities actually did their job, we wouldn't need superheroes.
Or if people decided, oh, I think that, you know, doing crime is better than living, if we lived in a society where that wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Well, also wouldn't be a problem. But here we are. So I think that superheroes have always been, you know, like, hey, society's kind of fucked up. So here's someone to help you feel better about it, because everywhere is like this, no matter where you go.
Yeah.
But here's hope, because there always should be hope. And that is what I think that is. And it's,
And when they were created back in the 30s, like with Superman, it's during the Depression. Mm-hmm. And they're still like, okay, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, I'm going to blow the lid off of something here that everyone actually knows, but they probably don't admit. So if you think Superman is woke, or you're anti-Superman, whatever, you're actually anti-Semitic because the guys who created him were Jewish. So you got to think in the 30s and the 40s and stuff, there was still anti-Semitism in the United States. And they called it, rampant. There was a movie called A Gentleman's Agreement, which was about that in like 47. So they would discriminate against these guys. So trying to break into anything was difficult, except for a lot of the early artists and writers in comic books were Jewish, because you couldn't really do anything. So they pretty much started the entire industry. So if you're against Superman or any other comic book characters, you're anti-Semitic, and the people who are against them hate anti-Semitism, or at least that's what they say when it comes to Harvard.
See,
you know what I mean? So they're just politicizing garbage.
Technically,
but not in the same way Garfield would.
Well, no, Garfield would just make an offhand comment, and he'd be like, "Oh, that's too relatable."
And then we go down a rabbit hole talking about everything else.
Yes, of course. But he makes comments because it was relevant at the time. It's never not been relevant since.
Yeah, and that's depressing.
Well, yes, but
it's like listening to what's going on today, wondering what's changed in the past 53 years.
Wasn't that about Vietnam?
Yeah, it was about it was about like the civil rights movement and Vietnam.
I was gonna say, because he was talking about soldiers at war, so I assumed it was Vietnam. But then
it would have been,
I guess it would have been early, because it would have been because that was early 60s. I guess it would have just been about the 60s. Never mind.
Yeah, because he wrote it. It took him years,
obviously,
to like write it and record it, and he did other things in between. Mm-hmm. So he would have started writing it like when we started to go like full force into Nam, and I'm sure Marvin Gaye had friends and relatives that went and fought. But it's kind of like if you're fighting for a country that hates you, like what I hate to say what's the point, but you know, that's sort of the point of that song, or the whole album is like, you know, you're fighting for something and then you come back, you're fighting for freedom, right? And you come back and you don't have any freedoms.
Yeah, that's why there was a lot of people who stayed in France after World War II.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Because, like, you know, by the time this album came out, I forget if it was 71 or 72.
But it was 71, because the 50th anniversary was 2021.
All right, excellent. Thank you. So, you know, 71, Marvin Gaye, the guy singing the songs, writing the songs, doing all this stuff, he'd only been able to vote for 6 or 7 years. What? And he's probably in his 40s at this point. Mm-hmm. So like, or at least in his mid to late 30s, and you've only been able to vote for 6 or 7 years.
You've only been able to vote in 1, maybe 2 elections, depending on the years.
Yeah. And it's like, what in the what? So I understand like why he would have been upset. and why anyone would have been upset.
So many reasons to be. But
yeah.
There's a lot. That's how media has always been, though. I don't know.
It makes me want to holler the way they do my life.
Throw up both my hands.
Yes. Honestly, that's probably the best song on the album, but you have to get to that point because by the time you get to that last track,
it's the calmest, angriest song I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, but that bass line is killer. But yeah, those guys, the Funk Brothers, they were the studio musicians for Motown. Incredible. That album is the first time they were ever credited.
Also, speaking of music, the music in this special it gives off that vibe.
Well, yeah, because Lou Rawls is a soul singer.
And yes, you can tell.
Yeah. And like everything, Garfield specials have that, like, you know what? They have soul because of Lou Rawls. And think even like the Christmas special, he's singing the song to it. And
it's just his voice doesn't fit the vibe of the show, but it perfectly does at the same time. It doesn't make any sense, but it's great.
Yes, because it's a white dude with his pets.
Yes.
But for some reason, this like soul jazz.
This one gives off more jazz than it does disco. The other one was definitely more funky.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, from Here Comes Garfield.
Yeah, but also Garfield was dancing in that one. Yeah. He's not dancing in this one. Yeah. This is just the music playing. But I like this music. But I don't know. I feel like that was also a statement, too, using that music instead of something you would traditionally think would fit with it.
Yeah, because you're trying to it's really including a lot of different influences and a lot of different people that would have been marginalized even in like comic strips. Because think about like Franklin in Peanuts. He didn't come around till probably like the late 60s, early 70s. And Franklin being the brown kid in Peanuts.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like,
and I think Southern newspapers wanted Charles Schultz to stop having the character interact with, the white kids in the comic strip, and or they would get rid of his, they would stop having the strip in the paper, and he's like, well, then stop having the strip in the paper.
That gives off the same vibes as Alabama banning Arthur because the gay teacher got married.
Wow, Alabama banned Arthur.
This was in like 2023.
Okay,
22.
Here's my problem with that, and we'll probably end on this because we'll obviously in the next episode we'll probably ramble on again because. For a 20-minute show, we're almost at 120 minutes, or 1 hour, 20 minutes.
120 minutes. We're not at 2 hours.
Yeah, not quite yet. But, okay, Arthur, if they're going to ban Arthur, they should ban Arthur because Arthur wears headphones. Mm-hmm. Where it assumes his ears are on the side of his head when his ears are on the top.
Yes.
But he still has headphones on the side of his head.
He just feels the vibrations.
That's why they should ban Arthur, not because of...
No, the gay teacher got married, so I think it was Alabama. This was like in 2020 or 2021. This is like this is in this decade that they did that. And it's like, why? I mean, Arthur has... I know they're trying to ban PBS now.
Yeah.
But like...
Wait, do you think that's one of the main reasons? I don't think
it's a main one, but it's definitely part of it. A lot of it is just because Or
NPR is unbiased in their reporting. That could be also. That's what I think.
Well, yeah. And then also like, because they bring on different guests and every guest has a different point of view.
Yeah.
They bring on people from all sides.
Yeah, I was going to say they show every point of view and their anchors aren't biased. Mm-hmm. Like NPR, and because NPR also has a lot of like BBC World News, which are definitely unbiased because they don't have any skin in the game. And that could be a reason why, because I've been trying to figure this out ever since like the rescission package was passed. Because like, what has PBS ever done other than teach me stuff through Sesame Street? What
PBS did is it showed British shows, which was a problem. It showed cooking shows.
Yeah.
It showed children's shows.
Old school Doctor Who it used to show.
It showed a lot of things, and it just showed kids how life works.
Yeah.
That's literally all it did. All of these shows were more realistic than anything you're ever going to get. Hey Arnold is a very realistic show.
Hey Arnold was on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, but like... They don't care about that.
Yeah.
But they care about Arthur.
Yeah.
Because Arthur had gay marriage. Why do you not care about Hey Arnold? Helga's mom is clearly a drug addict. She's clearly addicted to pills and alcohol.
And Helga has a unibrow.
And also, Helga acts out because of that. You see her mom, and then you see how she acts, and it's like, oh, that's a clear correlation. This is why she acts this way.
Wow. I never thought about that. That's crazy.
Like, it's obviously that's a thing. And then, like,
wow.
I mean, when you think about it.
Yeah.
With the cartoons have always been a thing.
Yes,
They've always been showing life in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or, like, you have, like, what show was I thinking of? The Word one? I forget what it was called. But it was, like, superheroes, and they did words, and it literally just taught your kid how to spell. What did that ever do? Teach me how to spell?
Wait, what?
What was that called? It was, like, the kid in, like, the green superhero suit with, like, the cape. I forget what it's called.
Oh, my God. I do know which one you mean. Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called, but there's...
Yes, yeah. I know what you mean.
I'm very bad at naming TV shows, but I could name the plot to most of them.
Yeah, that's all right.
But there's so many PBS shows that just showed or taught basic life skills, and they're like, nah, we can't be having that. Or they just showed British shows, which I don't know why PBS always showed British shows. Specifically. Yeah,
because, like, that's where, you first would see Keeping Up Appearances, Are You Being Served?
And, like,
the vicar of wherever the vicar was from.
The Pride and Prejudice TV special was on PBS.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. It was before we had, like, BBC America.
Yes, so that's where they streamlined British TV.
Yes, yeah.
And British TV is hella realistic compared to US TV.
Oh, yeah.
And it's crazy because British TV is failing. I personally think it's better.
Oh, yeah. It's
in a lot of ways. There's a lot of things I like about American TV that they do not show. But it just depends on the type of content I'm looking for.
I want to see, believe it or not, we were watching a little bit of, I know it's going to shock you, Keeping Up Appearances the other day. Shocking.
Mrs. Bouquet.
Yes, exactly. I would love to see that show, if I could watch it without a laugh track, would be like reading Garfield minus Garfield.
It's also like watching... Big Bang Theory without a laugh track. I want to do that so bad because I actually like the show. We were already talking about this.
Yeah. Would it be funny?
Yes.
Okay.
Some of it, but not all of it.
Yeah.
But the laugh track just makes me feel like, I like some of these jokes, but I don't like all of them.
Yeah, like let me decide what's funny.
Yes.
Like,
it also makes me very sad because obviously all of those people are dead. They've been using it forever.
Yes, you're right. Because you've seen the history of laugh tracks.
Well, yes.
Apparently, yes.
But also, like... they've been immortalized in history for their laugh, and someone was embarrassed by it.
Oh yeah, they had to have been, yeah.
100%. Some of them are crazy, which good for them for letting themselves laugh like that, but I couldn't imagine watching something and then hearing myself and like my biggest insecurity, I would want to cry.
It's time for a shameless plug, because I'm not getting paid for this at all, but because I know you can't do this on streaming, but the DVDs of MASH, you can turn off the laugh tracks. And it's incredible.
Yes.
Because it's like suddenly MASH turns into like Scrubs. Because Scrubs doesn't have a laugh track.
It's literally military Scrubs.
Yeah, that's what it is. And it's great because you're like, this is actually really funny, but you don't have that distraction of, you're right, at this point in time, an audience that probably died 70 years ago, not telling me when to laugh or what's funny.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to watch Scooby-Doo without a laugh track. I want to watch the Flintstones without a laugh track.
I just want to watch shows without it to see if it's funny or if I just laughed because I felt forced to. Yeah. And I have watched a lot of shows without it because people edit it. And I do find some of the things funny. Obviously, not everything is.
Yeah.
But, like, I do like Sheldon's deadpan humor. That is funny to me. I like that. But whenever you force laugh, it doesn't feel the same.
So would Bazinga be as funny without a laugh track?
Not every time, but sometimes.
Yeah, I guess depending on the situation.
Yeah, because obviously...
I'm thinking of the ball pit.
He obviously overuses it, but that's also part of his character because he has no social awareness because he's autistic and never properly taught social awareness. So it kind of makes it funny because that's actually his character.
Yes, yeah.
So even if it's not funny, it's like, oh, he's very socially unaware. And I know some autistic people who are like that, so I find it funny because I'm like, oh, that reminds me of this person I know.
Yes, yeah.
But the laugh track does not give me that vibe.
Yeah, because sometimes I think laugh tracks would, it's almost like, oh, are they making fun of autistic people? Instead of, oh, that reminds me of my buddy, that's why it's funny.
Yes.
Just like, the reason I never really got into the show, like I tried watching it, and it's like, nerds that I know aren't this nerdy. So it's almost like it's just like an amped up version of what nerds are, and it's like, oh, this is terrible. And the writing's bad. It's kind of like Two and a Half Men. Like I always said, like, what's the easiest joke in the world to write, and probably the most offensive? Okay, the easiest joke in the world to write, and probably the most offensive. I got to preface this. How did Charlie Sheen get AIDS? Two and a Half Men. Easiest joke, almost writes itself. It's not true or whatever, but it almost seems like a joke that would be on Two and a Half Men because of how lazy the writing is. And so, but it's the same producers and the same crew, I think.
Kind of like the last seasons of How I Met Your Mother. The first ones were pretty good, but then there's so many, it kind of just fell off.
Did you ever watch Mike and Molly?
No.
It's just like a bunch of like fat jokes about fat people by fat people. And I'm like, how many times can you like humiliate yourself for money?
See,
you know?
I don't know.
Like it's depressing to me.
I don't get people sometimes because I'm like, I don't know. I feel like even if I was given the chance, if I did not agree with something, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But also, money is not the thing I care about most in life, and for some people it is.
Yeah.
So if that's what you care about, you're more willing to do things, or you're dead broke. One or the other.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And that's why I think I kind of now cringe when I hear all this stuff about like Garfield being so fat, when like most Americans look like Garfield now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, right?
So one last thing.
Okay, yeah. And then we can continue it with the next special.
I was saying this while we were watching it. But the way that Garfield is just reminds me of how Americans are.
Yes.
Because he is lazy and he feels entitled to everything. And all he does is eat. And everyone else around him does not agree with him, just like how most other countries and a lot of other... Because not every American's like that, obviously.
Yes, yeah.
But, like, he reminds me of a common stereotype of an American.
Yes.
Even if that's not how most people are. And everyone around him is like, hey, don't be like that. Like, don't give in to that. Don't do that. And they're trying to tell him not to, like how most people do with people who are stereotypical.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care and he doesn't listen.
And he's like, I don't care if you told me the oven is hot. I need to find out for myself.
Yes. And then he gets upset when people make fun of him for it.
Yeah.
They warned you, not them, but like people have warned you that this would happen.
Yes.
And now you're upset about it whenever you traveled outside of your area and you did not think this would happen.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, this Italian mafia over here is making fun of you for being fat because you're fat and not active. If you were active and bigger, it would be fine. Yeah,
because he'd be more muscular like the cat, the gold-toothed cat.
Yes. If he actually did things, even if he had stamina, honestly, if he was his size and he had stamina, he'd be terrifying.
That's true. You're right.
It's like football players. The 350-pound football players who can sprint are the most terrifying people I've ever seen in my life.
They are. Yeah. And that would be Heathcliff. Heathcliff is more like athletic and more of a bully than Garfield is. Yeah. Even though Garfield is almost like the Bugs Bunny, where like he can get the stuff done using his brain. Like especially in Garfield and Friends, and you know this, it always shows Garfield outsmarting everybody.
Of course.
Whereas Heathcliff outsmarts people, plus he'll beat the hell out of you. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, we should probably end on that note.
An hour and a half.
Yeah, it has been. Okay.
Yes.
We will continue this with Garfield in the Rough, special number 3.
Yes.
As for now, I am Jamie.
And I'm Cora.
And this, once again, it's The Cat's Pajamas, a Garfield animated retrospective podcast. There we go.